It's Radio Free 501c, the podcast of Rogue Tulips Consulting. I'm Cecilia Sept, your host. Welcome to Season 7. Hey, I'm so excited to welcome back Shelby Truxon from the Nonprofit Alliance. She has one of the best jobs in the world because she runs the Leading Edge Student Internship Program at TNPA. She's here to talk with us about that. It's episode 299 and it's September 22nd, 2025. This episode is supported by USAE News, the weekly community newspaper of associations, CVBs, and hotels. Learn more about USAE News at usaenews.com. Hey everybody, it's Monday, September 22nd. Glad you're here with us this week for Radio Free 501c. I'm your host, Cecilia Sept. I'm the principal and founder of Rogue Tulips Consulting. Thanks so much for being here. And a gentle reminder, if you haven't followed us yet or subscribed on your favorite podcast service, please do so you don't miss any of these fantastic conversations we've been having this year. And we're on a little bit of a micro trend of returning guests as we near the end of the year. So I'm really pleased to welcome back Shelby Truxon, and we are going to let Shelby say a few things about herself in a moment. But I do want to say good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to our global audience, wherever you may be and wherever you are in the world. I hope you're enjoying the fall and have a lot to look forward to as we start to wrap up 2025. But Shelby, you're back. I'm so glad you're here. We're going to talk about the Nonprofit Alliance Internship Program. But before we do that, would you like to say hello and tell us a little about yourself?
Yes, thank you, Cecilia. Thanks for having me. I'm glad to be back for the second time. But yes, everybody, I'm Shelby Truxon. I'm the Vice President of Internship Experience at the Nonprofit Alliance. So I'm in charge of our internship program, but I've also have been in the nonprofit association industry for, I can't believe I'm saying about 20 years now. And I love it. I love the people. I love what we do, and just really excited to be here and to continue my career and continue bringing others into our profession as well. So thanks for having me.
Oh, yeah, I'm glad to have you back. I think the Nonprofit Alliance is a wonderful organization. I would like to be more active. I think that's going to be one of my 2026 resolutions is to be more active at TNPA. Do so many wonderful things there. For the audience who may not be familiar with the Nonprofit Alliance, they're a group that's about 7 years old, and they're doing a fantastic amount of advocacy work on behalf of the nonprofit community. And they do great things like quarterly membership meetings where we can get updates from the staff and ask questions. So it's a great group. Check it out, see what they're up to. Shelby's part of this wonderful group. She's one of the things that makes it wonderful, and that's her work with the Leading Edge and Student Internship Program. So, Shelby, can you tell us a little bit about the internship program and how it works? And then we can talk about how long it's been around and how much progress has been made.
Yeah, sure. So basically, our program has been around since 2022, with the goal to diversify the nonprofit sector by introducing college students, including those from underrepresented student populations and first generation students, to our sector as career options. And so basically, we get a group of employers, nonprofits, and corporate employers in the sector, to host the interns over the summer. And while they also work with us to learn about career opportunities in the sector. So it's been going strong since we started a few years ago, and it's been great. We've seen a lot of progress with it as well. We've been able to place 48 students in internships. We've reached out to more than 50 schools, including HBCUs and community colleges, in the DC, New York City, and Chicago areas. And we actually were a part of having four of our interns get hired full time by their employers after their internship. So it's been an amazing few years. We're just excited about where we're heading as well.
That is fantastic. And I don't think, actually, I know I didn't hear how many years was it since you?
So 2022. So yeah, we're in the third year, going into the fourth at this point. Yeah.
Wow. So it's only been 3 years. I really thought it was longer than that.
I know it feels like it, right?
Well, you've done so much with it. I mean, 48 internships so far, and you've placed four students in permanent positions from the
Yes.
internship program. I think that's a great record after just 3 years.
It is, it is. Yeah, it's been amazing and we're like still in awe with how much progress has been made so far.
Well, and I think a lot of us joke around about how we kind of fell into nonprofit management, no matter what kind of nonprofit we're working at. Like nobody told us at Career Day this was a career path.
Right.
And is that the driver for why the internship program was created?
Yes, I would say that was part of it for sure. Knowing that most students don't he really hear about us, our sector or industry as an option, was part of that. In addition to, wanting to bring the opportunity to work in our sector to those students who are underrepresented, may not have the same opportunities as others, and just making it more available to all students. So that we can have that and benefit from that diversity that comes from having different backgrounds and thoughts and experiences working in our sector, especially considering that many of us serve certain communities, underrepresented communities as well. And so yeah, that's been the driver. Those two things is diversifying the sector, but also introducing college students at their stage in their lives to our sector as an option, where considering that usually they don't even know at that stage. And like you said, most of us who have been in it, we wish we knew at their age. So we're kind of making it easier for them to get a head start in it, because they can know about it earlier than most of us did. So yeah.
Right. And, and I think a lot of us, when we fall into that first nonprofit management job, we don't realize it's a career path. We think,
Right.
oh, I
Not
just
at
got this
all.
job at this place helping
Right.
people. And, whether it's a profession or an industry or social service, oh, I just have this job. And you have no idea it's a profession. You have no idea there's education specifically for it.
Yes.
And I know last year, I did a webinar for the interns about what does it mean to be in nonprofit management. And I found that really interesting. They seemed really interested in learning more about it, like what exactly does mission mean and how does it different for nonprofits. So what are some of the things you've learned along the way from the interns in the program? Meaning, like, what kind of comments have they made to you? Like, well, I didn't know that. Do you have any of those?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, a lot of them they don't know all of the different roles that are available in the nonprofit sector. I think many of them, like probably like a lot of the general public, they immediately think of certain roles or just charities or just certain types of nonprofits. And they don't realize that like the things that they're studying in school, like everything they're studying could be applied and used and done in the nonprofit sector as well. So I've definitely heard like, oh, I didn't know, like, I didn't even think that I could use my accounting degree, in the nonprofit. It's like, yeah, we need you too. We need the accountants and the HR professionals and all of that and marketing, all of that. And so I hear a lot of that. I also hear that they don't realize too that you can, build a comfortable life and a comfortable career working in the sector. Because I think the general assumption is nonprofit means you don't make money.
Right.
And that's not true. So, so I think some of them are surprised to hear like, oh, like I can, literally like use my degree and move up in the ranks like I would in a private sector, company as well. And so I hear that as well. And just I think they don't know that that there are a lot of nonprofits that operate very similar to businesses, private sector businesses. Um, in terms of how they things they have to do in different parts of the organization, and so that those things kind of pop up, I would say, and that they get surprised to learn about us.
Yeah, you can't actually get a living wage. Nonprofit world. It's one of the things I try to advocate about is educating people about what does it actually mean and what these
Mm.
groups do, what we contribute to society. And that's why I'm such a fan of the leading edge internship program because it does introduce that idea very early on in life. And then these people, even if they decide not to go into the nonprofit area, they know about it and then they can go and be an ambassador for it and say, well, I didn't choose that path, but I did this internship program and now I know more about it. And they can spread that word out there, especially in these times where everybody is feeling very unsettled, and we're seeing there's a lot of disruption. There's definitely a lot of tension, and with the economy kind of slowing down a little bit, the last quarter, I think a lot of people are pulling back on spending and hiring, and maybe people are getting downsized. So I think really the role of the nonprofit is more important than ever because we're serving a special purpose within the world around us. And I think that's really the motivator for why people might want to investigate this career. But you may have heard some other reasons why people want to investigate it besides trying to make the world a better place. Have you heard anything other than that?
Hey, like also, specifically for the interns, and where they are in their lives, just starting out in their careers, I share with them that it's a great industry to start out in because you get to try so many different things. And I feel like it's a little more forgiving and gives you a little more leeway to kind of to move around a little bit, try some different things out, especially if you're with like a smaller organization. They might have you doing multiple things, but when you're just starting out, like that's actually that could be to your advantage because you get to try something and say, okay, I like this, or I'm good at this, or I don't like that, I'm good at, or I'm not good at that kind of thing. So I encourage them to do it, to experiment, try some things out, things like that. And so I think that that's, in addition to what you shared, I agree. I think it's a really great industry, especially for at their where they are in their careers, as well. But I also share with them just the people, like my whole career has been in the nonprofit sector. But every place that I worked, it was the people. I loved, who I was working with, and just the way that we all were focused on the mission. We all were passionate about what we were doing and who we were serving. So I always bring that up to the students too, like that's I would say that's a standout to me for the nonprofit sector is yes, we make money, but our focus, and you can tell that our passion and our focus is in whoever we're serving. And you can feel that difference. So I would say those are also reasons to work with us.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I agree. There's so many, and I really like that you pointed out that if you are starting out in your career and you're at a smaller staff organization, you get to do pretty much anything that
Yeah.
you're doing. And that's really great training and learning how things work and how things connect with each other in the overall organization. Because you may recall I have a CAE education program, and one of the things we talk about is that systems thinking and seeing the whole organization. So I think having this internship program is another window into that as well, which you could take anywhere in the world, systems thinking. So
Yes.
if somebody wanted to get involved in the internship program, how does it work?
So what we do is in the fall, so basically now, between now and I would say now between now and January, end of January, we reach out to all the employers. So that's nonprofits and corporate employers who work with nonprofits, to introduce you to how the program works, to see if you would like to host interns over the summer, the following summer that's coming up. And what we do is we do info session webinars once a month, from September, October, and November. So our next one is September 30th, coming up is our first one. And we explain basically how the whole process works is like employers would just enroll, give us, information about their internship positions and what they're looking for in the students. So almost like a regular, what you would post for any job,
Mhm.
job opening that you have. And we post all of those. We would then post those onto our website and blast it out to the schools. We have relationships with different schools as well, and start recruiting the students in the spring. So from February to April, we post all the positions and we collect all the student applications and then send those over to the employer. So the employer, it's almost like we're working together. So the employers get to review the applications, decide who you want to interview, and then also decide who you want to hire for the summer. And once you make that decision, you then become a part of our cohort for the summer, where you will then would also work with us to do webinars with the students, or we would do that part for you while you're hosting the interns. And so we come together. We would basically teach and show the students about how to build a career in this sector. So there are fees involved as well if you do hire an intern, different levels depending on if you're a member of the nonprofit alliance or not, and also depending on if you're a nonprofit or a corporate. But basically it's pretty simple. And we're always looking for employers to host. We're primarily focused on employers in the DC, New York City, and Chicago areas for in-person internships, but we also accept employers who have remote positions as well. So if you're outside of those areas, you can still host the intern for a remote position as well. But yeah, we explain all of it on the info session webinars in detail as well.
So, and how can people sign up for the info session?
So we do have a link on our website at tnpa.org/leading edge. And if you go to the employer page of that, there are links to sign up for those info sessions. So any one of those sessions, it's September 30th, October 28th, and November 18th. And they're quick, they're only 30 minutes long. And you just get to hear more about the program and ask any questions you have. And so, yeah, if or even if you join our email list on there, we can push it out to you and remind you when about registration as well.
Well, do you provide resources to the employers so that there is a consistent internship experience?
Yes, we do. So we provide all the employers with a what we call a employer or a host guide. So it's a packet that we send to them, and it just outlines how the program works. It outlines important dates throughout the summer. When we're doing certain webinars with them, so it doesn't conflict with scheduling. And it also gives some guidance on how to prepare for the internship. And so once we do have the employers or who are hosting and they've hired their interns, we also meet with each employer to do a prep call. So you fill out a prep worksheet, basically letting us know what your plans are for the intern for the summer, and then we work with you. So if you're not sure about something or you want to know how other employers handled something, we can share that with you. We can work with you to kind of help to solidify what the plan is for the summer and what projects you're going to have for them and help you prepare for it. So you're not alone at all in the process. We're there helping basically with from the beginning. We're helping with recruitment, we're helping with the matching process, and we're helping with the actual preparation for it as well. So you get the guide. You also get to meet with other employers. So we bring the employers together for webinars as well. We do two webinar meetups with them. And so you get to meet the other ones. You get to ask them questions about how they're handling things. So it really is kind of like a community partnership kind of collaboration. So you're again, you're not alone in any of it. So there's guidance along the way for sure.
Oh, well, that sounds great. I didn't even know that there were employer meetups for the participants. So,
Yes.
when you talk about a summer internship, how many weeks is that in your program?
So it's 10 weeks. So typically it starts the first week of June and then it goes until about second or middle of second week or middle of August.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And do you have different requirements and resources for virtual internships versus in-person ones?
Yeah, so it's they are different. Our guidance is generally the same, as far as just making sure we help you prepare for it, and then giving you access to other employers. So, for instance, if you've never done a remote internship before, I would definitely have no problem putting you in touch with another employer who has done it before and kind of giving that example. So we do send examples or put the employers in touch with others if they need additional help. But yeah, there is a difference. I think we're still kind of documenting what exactly works differently for different situations. But yeah, that's why we do have a combination of like the remote virtual meetups, but also we try to for the students especially we do try to do an in-person activity as well. So always connectivity, and they can reach out to me at any time as well if they need assistance with that. But we have found that a lot of the employers who have the remote internships, they already had been doing it because I guess, from we're just used to doing it now from all that we've been through. So
Yeah,
so
we're
they
all
kind of
doing.
already have it laid out a little bit, but yeah, we're here to help though if they need help with that.
Well, that's great. So, before we wrap up, I want to ask, what is the why for an employer to participate in this internship program?
Yeah, so many. But I would say it's bigger than just, it's bigger than just getting a little extra help over the summer, which is good.
Mhm.
But you're actually, when you're participating with us, you are actually joining our community of nonprofit sector employers, of schools, of volunteers, and in ushering in the next generation of nonprofit sector professionals. And that's important because, like you shared, our sector is needed and it's vital, especially now, that we are able to carry on the work that we've been doing for all this time. And so, you become a part of making sure that our work continues by bringing in these young people, showing them that they can build a career in it, showing them why they should do it. So that's, I would say, a major reason to get involved with us. But on a more practical level, it's also just a great way you get to, working with us, you get to save time on, because we help you with the recruitment part of it. So we take that off your plate a little bit. We help you with the preparation. So, typically you're doing that on your own, but working with us, you get some help with that. And so it can free up your time to do other things, that you need to be doing as well. And also just resources. We're reaching out to our networks of schools and students, our long list of students that we have now. So we're giving you more exposure for your internship positions than you might not than you might have otherwise. And in addition to also getting that help around the office, like I said, and also advancing any workforce diversity goals that you might have. So a lot of employers already have some goals in mind for how they want to diversify their workforce and trainings and skill sets that they need. And so this is a great way to help advance that effort as well. So, and it's just, I mean, if on our website we have impacts report that includes testimonies from other employers, that I would encourage everybody to take a look at because it like everyone has different things that they've said about the program, but the general sense is that the employers themselves all of them say that they've benefited just as much, if not more so, from working with the students out of anybody, because they've been able to just learn so much from the process of it all. And they just really enjoy the program and the community that we've built with everybody. So yes, definitely encourage you to participate, to get involved. And even outside of the internships, we are always looking for volunteers and for employers to work with us. Like you mentioned, we always have speaking opportunities. We love to introduce our students to other industry professionals. So we're always looking for webinar speakers. We're always looking for employers to host what we call micro interns. So they're like basically interns who help with short-term projects you might have throughout the year, outside of the summertime. And we're always looking for, if you're not able to do all those things, always looking for sponsors as well. A great way to get exposure to our membership database of more than 400 organizations at this point, and to invest in the future of our sector. So, a lot of good reasons to get involved, a lot of different ways to get involved with us as well. But definitely, for sure, would love to see everybody on the info session webinars and hosting interns over the summer. That's what we love to see.
Well, I'm so glad that you came back to talk about this because I did not know about the micro intern opportunities out there. And I think that would be really helpful to a lot of nonprofits in the community who maybe are getting ready for the conference or
Yes,
some
yes.
other thing, some big program. Wow, that's fantastic. So, well, Shelby, it's always great having you on, and I know you'll be back because I just really love this program, the Leading Edge Internship Student Internship Program from TNPA, because it really does do a lot for all of us in the community. So, thank you for all your work on it.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for
And
having me.
you are welcome. And as you know, since you've been on before, I like to ask my guests, what is the one thing you'd like the audience to take away today? And how can they get in touch with you if they want to learn more about this great internship program?
Yeah, so one thing I'd say take away is that it's bigger than, it's more than an internship. It's bigger than a typical internship. It really is, it makes you a part of building our sector, protecting our sector, growing our sector. And so we would love to have any of you involved, again, in any kind of way, but especially when it comes to hosting the interns. Because one thing that I forgot to mention is that our the demand and the applications from the students far exceeds the number of positions that we have available, which means that they are eager to work in our sector. They are like they want to make a difference. They want their work to have meaning to it. And so we need you all to help us do that. So that's the one thing I would say. In addition to joining our info session webinar, one of the webinars in September 30th, October 28th, or November 18th. And to do that, go to tnpa.org/leading edge. And so we would love to see you all there for sure.
Oh, that's great. Yes, there's so many opportunities in this program, even more than I knew about. So this is great hearing this. Thanks, Shelby.
Thank you.
Well, we have to go rogue for now, but before we do, thank you, USAE News, for supporting this episode of Radio Free 501c. Check out USAE News at usaenews.com. They have a subscription rate that fits every budget. So check them out. They are basically the paper of record for the Association and Convention Bureau industry. So thanks again, USAE News. And before we sign off, I'd just like to say if you'd like to learn more about Rogue Tulips Consulting and how we can help your organization bloom outside the box, check out our website, roguetulips.com. You can look at our services page. If you don't see what you're looking for, let's have a conversation because we can probably help you out or give you a referral to somebody who can. Check out our education page. We're revising our education schedule for the fall. So we're going to have a compressed CAE prep course starting October 2nd. Check that out. Check out our podcast page to find this episode featuring Shelby and share it with your colleagues. And you can check out our past episodes. And last but not least, our blog page where I share my thoughts every week on whatever I feel like talking about. And you never know what I'm going to say. So don't forget to check that out too. And once again, subscribe to our podcast wherever you like to listen or watch. On behalf of Shelby and myself, we will see you next time. That's it for this week. I hope you really loved this episode as much as I did. Thanks for listening. Learn more about how our experience and knowledge at Rogue Tulips can give your organization the strategic edge to reach its goals. Check out our website at roguetulips.com. We'd love to talk with you and see how we can work together. Thanks.